Have you ever felt that sting of having few or no friends? Society has a pretty loud and, frankly, pretty harsh opinion about it. But what if I told you the psychologist Carl Jung had a totally different take? We're going to dive into that and maybe reframe what your solitude actually means.
So let's just get right to it. What does this situation secretly reveal about you? Because according to Jung, this isn't necessarily a failure. It might just be a secret signal, a sign that something really profound is happening just beneath the surface. But first, we gotta acknowledge the elephant in the room, right? We live in a world that practically screams at us that our worth is measured by our social circle, our followers, our contact list. So, if you're walking alone, the world sees you as a problem that needs to be fixed. And this, right here, just lays it all out. Look at the two sides. On the left, you have society's verdict. You're a failure. You're broken. Incomplete. But then, look at the right side. That's Jung's view. He saw it as a sign of strength, a period of preparation, an initiation into a deeper part of your own life. It's not a problem, it's a signal. Okay, so let's explore that signal. Jung basically comes along and flips the whole script. He offers this powerful counter-narrative that suggests your solitude isn't about a lack of worth, but it's actually a sign of a major transition. Man, this quote from Jung, it just hits differently, doesn't it? It completely redefines loneliness. That ache you feel, maybe it's not because there's a lack of people around you. Maybe it's from a lack of being able to share what truly matters to you. It's about a lack of companionship, not a lack of company. And that feeling of deep connection, Jung had a word for it: resonance. You know the feeling. It's when you feel truly seen, truly understood. And you know the opposite too. You can be in the most crowded room on earth and feel completely and utterly alone because there's just no resonance. Your soul is done settling for shallow chatter, and that refusal can sometimes mean you have to walk a quieter path for a while. And this brings us to one of Jung's biggest, most important ideas, the path of individuation. He saw this time of solitude as a crucial, necessary first step in a much, much bigger and more meaningful journey. So what is individuation? Well, you could call it the soul's highest calling. Put simply, it's the process of becoming who you were always meant to be. And far from being some kind of roadblock, solitude is often the very greenhouse where this journey begins. It's the quiet space where you finally get to meet your true self.
And this journey, it's not random. It kind of has these stages. It all starts with that separation from the crowd, which, yeah, can feel a lot like friendlessness. But that's what leads you to a direct confrontation with yourself, including the parts you'd really rather ignore. That's where you integrate your shadow, and only then, can you emerge as a more whole, authentic person.
And hey, if this path feels lonely, just remember, you are in some seriously good company. I mean, throughout all of history, the most transformative figures, prophets, artists, deep thinkers, they all walked this path of the wanderer. Moses in the desert, Nietzsche in isolation, even Jung himself after his break with Freud. Their time alone wasn't a failure. It was the initiation that came right before their greatest work. So what's the actual work that gets done in this quiet space? It's definitely not about just sitting around waiting. No, this is an active, transformative process. It's about being forged in the silence.
I love this metaphor of the two trees. Think about it. A tree in a super dense forest is shaped by all the other trees. It's always bending and twisting to find a little bit of light. But a tree that grows all by itself in an open field, it has to stand firm against the wind, forcing its roots to go deep. It develops a kind of strength a forest tree never will. Your solitude, it's building that kind of unique, resilient strength in you.
Now, a huge part of this work is what Jung called facing the shadow. And yeah, that sounds kind of scary, right? But really, it's just all the parts of yourself you push down and try to ignore. Your insecurities, your old wounds, your fears. Solitude strips away all the distractions and brings these things to the surface. And while it can feel like torment, Jung would say it's actually the tough, essential work of healing. It is how you become whole. So after all this tough, soul-searching inner work, what happens? What's the payoff? Well, this is where we get to a really beautiful and kind of mind-bending paradox. It's this simple. True, authentic connection often finds you only after you no longer need it to feel complete. By learning how to truly stand on your own, you paradoxically become magnetic to the very connections you were once missing. So why does that happen? Because something fundamental shifts inside of you.
You're not putting out that vibe of neediness or desperation anymore. You stop chasing after anyone's approval just to feel okay about yourself. You hold on to who you really are, and that is attractive to other people who value depth and truth. You're not looking for just anyone anymore. You're ready for connections built on real resonance, not just convenience.
So, if you're in this season of solitude right now, here is the most important thing to hear. Society's verdict is just wrong. You are not broken.
This is not some shameful, permanent state of failure. It is a dynamic, powerful, and active process of transformation. You are becoming. And even though it can really feel like the whole world has left you behind, from this deeper psychological view, you are not abandoned.
You are being refined. You're being made ready for a more authentic life and for the deep, meaningful connections that are waiting for you there. You are being prepared.
And all of this leaves us with one last powerful question to take with us. Instead of asking, why am I so alone, maybe the better question is this one. What is my solitude trying to teach me? Because what it secretly reveals about you might just be the most powerful truth of all.